Hi, this is Tony Harris Taylor on the Drastic Results with Tony Harris Taylor show, and I am here with my friend, colleague, mini me. I got a lot of mini me's running around here. Dr. Sonja Ogletree Satani from Charleston, South Carolina. Welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here with you, Tony. You are my friend, my shiro. You are the all in all, and I just love being with you. And of course, we're separated by, a few states, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, especially with the technology today. It absolutely doesn't matter. Exactly. So tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. So again, my name is Dr. Sonja Ogletree Satani. I am a franchise owner with Network in Action, and our chapter is called Corporate Cycle Connections, and we are US based. And I also own and operate Corporate Cycle Consulting. So we're able to work with business owners and entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, to help them start and grow a business.
Awesome. And you specialize in helping those businesses to get prepared to go after government and corporate contracts, right?
That is correct.
Awesome. And then why did you decide to get an NIA?
Well, I attended your viral networking events, and I was able to meet some of your colleagues that are already affiliated with NIA, and I just loved it. At first I thought we didn't have one here in Charleston, but it turned out that we did, but I never heard of it. So I'm like, you know what? Initially, my thought was this will be a great opportunity to bring to Charleston, and especially to bring to business owners that are looking to grow and to expand their operations. So, from a networking standpoint, I believe it's very important to have those connections, to make those connections. And, especially for those businesses that are just starting out, a lot of times they don't know who to connect to. So for me to take advantage of this opportunity, I wanted to be able to help these business owners. I'm sure you're familiar with the proverb or the saying, right? You give a man a fish, they eat for a day. You teach them how to fish, they'll be able to eat for a lifetime. But now being able to connect the networking side, you can show them where to fish and introduce them to the other fishermen or the other fish in the pond, if you will.
I love that. And one of the things that I love too is Network in Action. Even though they're local to your group, there's a national presence as well for those business owners who want to meet people and connect people nationally. And we are like family. So I'm so excited for you, and congratulations on taking that drastic step. So how did Corporate Cycle Consulting come about?
So Corporate Cycle Consulting came about for several reasons. Number one, I am a project manager behind the scenes, and serving as a program project manager, Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. Businesses go through different cycles, from the startup to becoming a small to medium to large size. But there's a lot of challenges that go through each of those phases. So for me, it just made sense to help these businesses to navigate through these phases and to be able to provide the roadmap for each stage that they're going through.
Okay, very good. Now you have a compelling story about why you left corporate and started your own business. You want to share that a little bit?
Sure. So I tell you, you get up every day, same routine, looking forward to going to work and working with this organization. I loved it. I was the go-to person, the person that knew it all, had it all, and I enjoyed what I did. And I tell you, one day I go in and, I hire a team like I normally do, get everything ready to go. And this particular day, I'm like, you know what? It's time to start hiring someone that could replace me because there was an opportunity for me to advance and go to the next level up. So as I trained the individual, several months later, the promotion list came out and I'm like, okay, this is a day. I'm going to see my name. I'm going to get some more money, get the job that I want because, I got the degrees, I got the education, hey, I worked hard for this. So I get in and I look at my computer screen and I'm like, y'all know them words. So I was so pissed, very upset about it. And it got to the point that the person I hired and trained got the job that I was expected to have.
Wow.
And I was done. So I had turned in my badge, my computer, and, that was my defining point. And I said, it's time to do my own business. And I'm sure, Madam CJ Walker said, you can't sit down and wait for opportunities to come. You got to get up and go get it. And that's what I had to do. I had to get up and go get it. And, I've spent years learning to play the rules of the game and knowing the rules of the game. Now it's time for me to start making my own rules.
So think back to that time or maybe even earlier. What made you know that you had to start networking to find your relationships and customers and all of that? What was that turning point?
Well, I'll share with you that I had gone to different organizations, introduced myself, and because they didn't know who I was, it was harder for me to get those connections, to get my foot in the door. But the more that they saw me, the more that they took the time to get to know me, it became a lot easier because now they trust me. And now these are the individuals that are coming to me for guidance and for help. But it wasn't easy at first. And I was networking with the wrong people. So that put a strain, in really exploring my business and taking it to the level that I needed. And it took a while to get there. But I tell you, I'm super excited that I didn't stop. I didn't give up. And I was able to connect with the right people to really help launch and grow my own business.
So when it comes to networking, people fall all over the place. They love it. They hate it. Rarely are people in the middle. It's okay. Yeah, usually they have strong emotions. Oh, I love networking. I hate it. Now, you just bought a networking organization, so I know you're on the love spectrum. But why do you love networking so much?
Well, I just love helping people. I love giving back. And for me, it's never been about me. It's about how I can help that other person achieve what it is that they're looking for. And, when you help enough people get what they want, you're able to get what you want. But in getting what you want, you have to know what you want. And, when they're asking, hey, what do you need? For me, I'm so quick to say, I'm good because I'm that giver. But one of the things that I've learned as being a business owner is that you have to be specific in the ask, or otherwise you're going to get whatever you get and how you get it, or you might not get anything at all.
Awesome. And now you're going to be teaching your Network in Action members how to strategically network so that they fall in love with it as well. So since the pandemic, which doesn't look like it's going to go away, virtual networking has become more popular. So how do you feel about virtual networking?
Well, I tell you, it saves money on gas. You still
and food, because usually, right? You're eating
and
stuff.
Hotel.
Hotel, all of that. Now, yes, exactly. Saves us money.
But I tell you, being able to be on various platforms, whether you're on Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft meeting teams. This gives you an opportunity to meet with people who typically say, oh, I don't have time, right? So it's easier to get on the schedule. You're saving some time to get from one location to another, missing out on opportunities, but also having information right there. So, sometimes if you're afraid to share your market dominating position or what your business pitch is, you can put it up on your computer. Nobody will know that you're reading because you're looking into the camera. Of course, as there are things that you want to share, you can put together a little cheat sheet. I want to make sure that when I'm making a connection with someone, not only am I asking what they do and what kind of people do they like to associate with, or what the best referral that I can give, but all of that is right there at your fingertips, and you don't have to scramble, and no one knows that, you put together your own personal checklist.
I love that, because so many people still today, 2 years into the pandemic, tell me that they hate virtual networking. Get over it. It's not going away. And you got to look at the positive. You're in South Carolina, you're coaching with me. And yes, you did fly and come to my event, but our connection remains because of this technology. And, you're able to meet people all over the world from the comfort of your own chair. So I love the virtual, and you gave excellent tips on being preparing in advance. And then you have the information to share. You can put a little Post-it note with your elevator pitch on it, and everybody will be like, yay, right? So I love that. So, you quit the corporate job, and I know that, or you moved on because they didn't treat you fairly, but you could have just went to another company. And entrepreneurship's not easy. So what's the driving force behind you staying an entrepreneur?
Well, for me, I am a overachiever, as many people have called me. You can talk to any of my
Dr. Six Sigma, Black Belt Six Sigma. I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, girl.
So I tell you, the degrees go on and on, but it's all about what you want to achieve for yourself. At least I can speak for me. Those were things, some people, they're like, I want to do it because of my family. I want to do it because of this. But, I've been putting everyone else first. But for creating this business, I wanted something that was mine. I wanted to be able to create a legacy, to leave a legacy, not only for my family, but also for my community and who I touch. So not just on a local level, but on a global scale. And I have had the honor and pleasure of meeting people from around the world, and, from previous travels of serving in the military, or even serving as an ambassador for my college, or even being part of the United Nations group, in which I meet with them, typically around March, April every year. So for me, it kind of goes back to Oprah Winfrey, right? Where everyone has a story,
right?
And there is something to be learned from every experience, right? So not only am I learning from others, but I'm also able to share my experience as well, and being able to launch corporate cycle consulting, and of course with NIA corporate cycle connections. We're able to learn from each other and to help each other.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, you are an inspiration to me. I just need you to not to put on no more hats, lady. All right. So think about this. Tell me about a time that you did not want to show up. I'm tired. I don't want to go. But you pushed ahead and you're glad you did.
Well, I tell you, from being a professor, being a business owner and coach, people are counting on you.
Mhm.
So no matter how tired, how sick you might feel, you get your hot toddy, get your body right. So that way, the next day, you're able to push forward and to move forward. And for me, I know that people are counting on me,
Mhm.
and I don't want to let them down. I've already let myself down, but I don't want to continue to let myself down. And that goes back to my overachiever is, my husband tells me, you always want to be in the forefront, in the limelight. Well, that's his perception, but I don't see it as being in the limelight. I see it as being there, being that loyal person to help that individual move forward.
Awesome. 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 So everybody has some challenges with their networking. Tell me what your challenge is with networking.
Sometimes I find myself kind of being the worker bee,
Mm-hmm.
if you will. And
not kind of being the worker bee.
So there are times when I know that I should be making those connections or putting myself out in the forefront. If there are people that need something, I will connect them. And I don't always focus on what I need. So that has been a challenge. And I just put everybody first.
You do. You do. And that's a great trait to have when it comes to networking, looking out for other people. But if you don't eat, you're not going to be able to help in the long run, help other people to eat. So it's a balance with that. The other thing is you are a volunteer. If you volunteer for one more thing, do not. So you volunteer a lot, and that takes time away from. So it is a balancing act when you are volunteering, and you do have a heart for people, and you're such a giver. And I'm not taking that away from you. I think it's a beautiful thing, but there's a balance to it. And if I had to have answered for you, I would have answered the same thing. So tell me about a time when networking made a huge difference in your business.
Well, I'll share with you. When I launched Corporate Cycle Consulting, I became a member of the American Business Women's Association. Mm-hmm. And that gave me the initial platform to really launch and to become a speaker and to share with these women how to start and grow their own business. And because of that networking opportunity, and because of the leadership opportunities they were able to see within me, within the first 2 years of being in that organization, not only did I start off within the first 30 days of serving as the co-chair for membership, but then the next year becoming the secretary on the executive board, that very next year becoming the chapter president, and then shortly after that running for district vice president within the organization. Now, even though I didn't win the first time, but that exposure to that network, that exposure to women that served as my mentors, encouraged me, don't give up, come back again. Well, I wasn't planning on giving up. So I did go back the very next year. I ran again for district vice president and won. And then the very next year ran for national secretary treasurer and won. And then 2017 became the national president for the American Businesswomen's Association and was a top 10 businesswoman. So because of not giving up, because of utilizing the networking, it has taken me all over the US and Puerto Rico to be able to meet women that are business owners, students that are doing amazing things within their organizations and companies.
Wonderful. Well, That's where I met you. I think you won that. I was there the year you won the presidency. And so you and I met there, and, look at us now. Look at us now. Who could have seen that? And that's what I love about networking, because networking is seed planting seeds. And you don't know how the tree is going to grow. Sometimes it dies and nothing happens. But a lot of times, even when it takes years, we are now growing together. And, you just never know. So awesome. Okay. Social media is a form of networking.
Yes.
So tell me where social media has made a difference in your business. Which, by the way, is what kept us connected and how we got back to this, right?
Yes. So social media on a personal level has allowed me to connect with a lot of business owners and friends and relatives. But I tell you, and I'll be honest, I still struggle with social media because on the outside, I'm very extroverted. But when it comes to the privacies and what I'm doing, I'm very introverted in the social media side. So for me, especially as a business owner, it's a big push to really put the company out there and to make sure that it's there. But also the challenge that I have is just finding the time. And I know you can schedule, you can plan what you want to post, but I'd rather do the connecting side than the social media side, because there's still that disconnect, if you will. I'd rather touch and call you than send a message or a post.
So, but social media is what got us here. You and I met in 2017, I believe it was, and we saw each other in 2018. But after that, we didn't reconnect again until 2021. It's because you saw me post something on social media and you showed up.
Yes.
And look at you. Look at you now. So what mistakes have you seen other entrepreneurs make when it comes to networking?
The biggest mistake is the follow-up. And also another mistake is, here's my business card, call me. And what happens with those business cards, right? They get stuck in our pockets. You open your purse and you're like, oh, who's that person again? How did I meet them? Or, and you just kind of forget and you lose touch. So it's always important, and Tony, you drive this all the time. And I'm also a huge believer of it, is when you make that connection, schedule the appointment right away, book, that time, that one-on-one, whatever you're going to do, just get it done. Why wait? And, even for me with a lot of stuff, people say, Sonja, you're so fast. How do you do that so fast? How do you get that done? Because I don't wait. So, if it's something intentional that you're trying to do, that you're trying to change, you got to be ready and willing to just get it done.
Love it.
It's like
love
Nike,
it,
just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. And I love it. You gave my favorite tip: book the appointment on the spot. You're not going to follow up with them. They're not going to follow up with you. So just pull out your phone and book it. Awesome. So what does it mean to you when I say show up? That's my saying. What does it mean to you to show up?
So showing up does a lot. Number one, it gives you access to the information. Number two, in getting the access, you're able to ask questions. If it doesn't resonate, you get to practice. And so you're able to master and do it for what you need. But if you're not there, how would you even know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, all that great stuff. But it also gives you an opportunity to connect with those that you're learning from. And they get to see you as well. And then finally, part of showing up, as Tony says, you show up, you blow up, you go up. And it doesn't matter the organizations that you're with. even if you are still in corporate and you haven't transitioned to becoming that business owner, you still got to show up to the meeting. How are you going to know what's going on or what's your role and responsibility if you're not there?
Right.
So whether it's a need to know basis, or even if you're serving as the secretary or recording secretary for your organization or group. So even though you are there, you might not be the decision maker, but because you're there, you're in the know. So showing up allows you to be in the know.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So you gave us a tip about, booking appointments on the spot. Do you have any other tips about following up? Let's say we don't book the appointment on the spot. Do you have a tip for following up?
Yes. So my tip is don't wait for someone else to follow up, because a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, we'll get in contact. And you're waiting for the other person to contact you. Take the initiative. Just take the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Love it. It's drastic sometimes to do that, but somebody's got to pick up the phone.
yes,
If I were going to give a tip, I'd say pick up the phone. If we send emails, emails get lost. So pick up the phone and call somebody. And I'm going to tell you, on that note, the person who introduced me to NIA followed up with me 3 months later. Now, what if she was in her head about following up with me? Oh, it's too late. I missed the window. We met 3 months ago. She probably not going to remember me. And look how her following up changed all of our lives. So,
and I share with individuals that I coach, because I've done a lot of MLM,
mm-hmm.
Different businesses and, just explored a little bit of everything. And one of the organizations that I'm affiliated with, I got a phone call and I told the individual, I can't talk now because I'm getting ready to go to work. They called again. Oh, I can't talk now. I got something else just came up. It took 4 times. And on that 4th time, when you said you're just drained and tired, I was drained and tired. That was supposed to be my sleep-in day. I took time for me, but I said, you know what? I said I was going to meet with you. I said, I just need 15 minutes. Let me just at least brush my teeth, put some water on my face. And it was a Zoom meeting at that. So it was very convenient. But I tell you that 4th time that it took, I ended up signing up and became the number 1, in the division. So, you never know who your superstars are going to be.
Right.
That's going to take your business to the next level, or even if you're in MLM or sales or whatever it is, that 4th time, that 5th time could be the difference, could be
Absolutely.
That next $1 million that you'll earn.
Absolutely. So describe how your networking has gone viral.
Oh, I'm still working on it. But I tell you, having the opportunity to meet people from Russia, from India, from Japan, from Spain, has been amazing. And sometimes it's not all about the transaction, but it's about the relationship.
Absolutely.
And, people have to understand that when you're networking, you're building relationships and you're not building transactions. The transactions come as a result of the relationships that you build.
Say it again, sister. Say it again. Love it. So what is your favorite quote around networking or connecting?
So again, I have to go back to Oprah. Is you have to surround yourself with people who are going to lift you higher. So who's in your group that's going to lift you higher? So we have our family members as part of our networking system. We have our colleagues, our former high school, college people that's part of our networking system. We have past colleagues that we work with from old jobs that we might run into. All of these individuals are part of our network. But who are you surrounding yourself with that's going to lift you higher, to be a better you, and to help you stand out, which in turn will also help lift your business and take it to the level where you want to go.
Yay. So, what final thoughts can you offer to an entrepreneur who is hesitant to network?
So, what I would recommend to an entrepreneur that's kind of hesitant to network, take a friend. So that way you're not there by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you are meeting individual, the best thing you can do is say hi. That will soften the conversation. That will ignite the conversation. Hi, how are you? What's your name? That's all you got to know. And from there, opportunities are limits.
Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Well, Dr. Sonja Ogletree Satani, I love that we have gotten reconnected. This is, the sky is the limit. Thank you for choosing me as your coach. The coaches need coaches. So thank you for choosing me as your coach. And thank you for partnering with us at Network in Action. We are getting ready to grow, and it's going to be amazing. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye.